206. Mrs. Woodward has been obliged to write all the monthly reports since Mrs. Spears retired in November last year. 207. Have you ever been to Hastings? No, never. I advise you go on a trip round the place. It's really interesting. 208. I hate being asked questions by too many reporters at a time, the politician said. 209. Our camera has broken down for the 5th time recently. We are considering buying a new one soon. 210. Isn't it about time you called it a day? You have been sitting in the office for 12 hours now. 211. Until 1998, the secret passage had not been discovered by anyone. 212. There are two versions in 212. Version 1. I have not been home for ages. I am looking forward to seeing my parents. Version 2. I have not been home for ages. I look forward to seeing my parents. 213. Are there any letters for me? Not this time, Mr. Higgins. Maybe next time I will bring one for you. 214. There are two versions. Version 1. Mark says he is not feeling well. He could have caught a cold when he was at the open-air party yesterday evening. Version 2. Mark says he does not feel well. He could have caught a cold when he was at the open-air party yesterday evening. There are two versions in 215. Version 1. I'm not sure whether to agree to marry James now. If he does not refuse waiting a bit longer, maybe I will accept his proposal in the future. Version 2. I'm not sure whether to agree to marry James now. If he did not refuse waiting a bit longer, maybe I would accept his proposal in the future. There are two versions in 216. Version 1. Now I know I ought to have apologized to Joanne. I regret not having done it right away. Version 2. Now I know I ought to have apologized to Joanne. I regret not doing it right away. 217. Was it your idea to buy a second-hand car? I think you could have thought it over thoroughly before you wasted so much money on a wreck like this. Version 2. Was it your idea to buy a second-hand car? I think you could have thought it over thoroughly before wasting so much money on a wreck like this. 218. The teacher punished Gordon because he was disturbing her while she was explaining the problem to us. 219. There are two versions in 219. Version 1. You need not give me much money. £10 will do. Version 2. You do not need to give me much money. £10 will do. 220. There are two versions in 220. Version 1. It is a holiday next Tuesday, so we have a day off. I'm taking my family to Palm Springs. Version 2. It is a holiday next Tuesday, so we have a day off. I am going to take my family to Palm Springs. There are two versions in 221. Version 1. The man explained that none of his complaints had been dealt with by the travel agency, and that is why he decided to sue them. 222. There are two versions. Version 1. Mom, can I get this remote control toy car? I am sorry, Jim. I have not enough money to afford to buy it. Version 2. Mom, can I get this remote control toy car? I am sorry, Jim. I do not have enough money to afford to buy it.